At Thanksgiving, my husband's mother said the prayer and thanked God for family who knows their place and doesn't overstep. My cousin asked if that was about me. My husband just laughed. I quietly cleared my plate, left early, and took the dish I had spent 6 hours making. The next morning, I emailed her a list of boundaries and blocked her number. I'm 34. My husband Matt is 38. We've been married for 4 years, together for 6. We live about 30 minutes outside Dayton, Ohio. It's quiet. We both work full-time, me in marketing, him in HVAC. I moved here from Denver for him, left my job, my family, and everything familiar because I believed in us. Matt's family? They've lived in this area for generations. They're the kind of people who say family first with a smile, but everything has to be their way. His mom, Brenda, is the center of it. She's one of those women who calls herself traditional, but what she really means is controlling. Brenda has never liked me. She'd never admit it, of course. She's too passive-aggressive for that. But she's made little comments from day one. I didn't bake from scratch like her girls. I didn't go to their church. I asked too many questions. I wanted to host one Christmas, and she nearly had a breakdown over it. Matt always defended her, in that quiet, spineless way. She's just old-fashioned. She means well. Don't let it get to you. And for years, I didn't. I swallowed it. Every Thanksgiving, every Easter, every stupid birthday brunch. This year I thought maybe things would be different. I don't know why. I guess I was tired of being treated like a visitor in my own life. So I went all out. I made a roasted butternut squash lasagna, real handmade pasta, roasted squash I cubed myself, fresh sage, bechamel from scratch. It took 6 hours. It was the best dish I've ever made, and I brought it proudly. This year was also different because I invited my cousin Rachel. She'd just moved to Cincinnati for work, didn't know anyone here yet.
She's like a sister to me.
I thought having her there would help me feel less alone at that damn table. We got there around 3 p.m. Brenda's house looked like something out of a Hallmark card. Wreath on the door, smell of cinnamon and turkey in the air, matching serving dishes like always. Brenda greeted us with her usual thin smile and a comment about how ambitious my dish looked. The whole family was there. Matt's 2 sisters, Stephanie and Carla, their husbands, Brenda and her husband Roger, some of their friends from church. 15 people total. Dinner was served buffet style. Everyone filled their plates. We sat down at the long dining table. Then Brenda stood up. She said she wanted to say grace, which she always does. I bowed my head like everyone else. She clasped her hands. Her voice got that sweet, fake tone she uses when she's about to say something nasty wrapped in kindness. She said, "Lord, thank you for this food and for this family. Thank you for those who know their place, who don't overstep, who keep tradition alive and don't try to change what isn't broken."
Amen.
There was this second of silence, like nobody knew what to do. Then my cousin Rachel, sitting next to me, leaned over and whispered, loud enough for others to hear, "Was that about you?" Matt laughed. Not loudly. Just this little low laugh, like he didn't want to get involved but found it funny. That laugh cut me worse than anything Brenda said. I looked around the table. Nobody would meet my eyes. Not even his sisters, who I thought were warming up to me. It was like I wasn't even there. I got up. Quietly. No drama. I walked over to the buffet. Took my dish. Put it back in my casserole carrier. Picked up my plate. Rachel looked stunned. "You okay?" she asked. I just said, "Excuse me," and walked out the door. Matt didn't follow me. At home, I waited. I thought maybe he'd call. Maybe someone would text to ask if I was okay. Nothing. Matt came home late. Said they played board games and had dessert. Like it was just any other day. "You really had to make a scene?" he asked. I didn't even answer him. I went to bed. The next morning, while he was out in the garage, I wrote Brenda an email. I told her I was done pretending everything was fine. I said if I was going to be around the family, here were my boundaries. No passive-aggressive prayers or comments. No public shaming disguised as tradition. I expect to be treated like a member of the family, not an outsider. Then I blocked her number. Matt didn't take it well. But he also didn't apologize. He said I overreacted, that she was just talking in general. I told him if he believed that, he wasn't paying attention or he didn't want to. Things haven't been the same since. Matt and I didn't talk much the next few days. I kept it civil. I wasn't ready to blow things up, but I wasn't going to pretend nothing happened either. By the weekend, his sisters had gotten involved. Stephanie texted me, "Mom didn't mean anything personal. You're being kind of dramatic." Carla followed up with, "If you're going to be in this family, you need thicker skin." Thicker skin? For what? Being humiliated in front of everyone? Rachel, bless her, stayed a few days longer than planned. She helped me pack up some Christmas decorations I had planned to put out. I told her I didn't feel like decorating this year. Matt noticed the change in the house, but again, no effort to ask me how I felt. Just silence. Then something strange happened. The following Monday, I got an email from Brenda. Not a real apology. Of course not. She wrote, "I'm sorry if you felt offended. My words were about the importance of family harmony, not meant to be taken personally. I hope we can all move forward. Let me know if you're bringing a dish to Christmas." That last line hit me like a slap. Like nothing happened. Like she expected me to show up, smile, and serve pie like always. I didn't answer. Instead, I stayed quiet. But I started paying closer attention. I logged into our joint checking account. I never really checked it before. We both had access, and I trusted him. But something told me I needed to look. And that's when I found it. 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, Matt had withdrawn $500, labeled it gift. Then, another $300 the week after, marked repair. I asked him about it. He said, "Oh, that was for Mom's stove. It broke." But we had never discussed it. And I wasn't told. That was money from our shared account, and he just gave it away. "When were you going to tell me?" I asked. He shrugged. She needed it. That was it.
No guilt. No apology.
Then Rachel said something that stuck with me. "Girl, he's not just ignoring you. He's choosing her. Over and over." I stopped cooking dinner. I stopped doing his laundry. I stayed polite. But I started putting emotional distance between us. I went to the guest room a few nights. I didn't give explanations. And when Christmas came around, I didn't go. I sent Rachel a plane ticket, and we flew back to Denver for the holiday. Spent it with my parents. Ate takeout. Watched movies.
No tensión. No fake prayers.
No being made to feel like a stranger. Matt didn't call on Christmas. He texted. One word. "Really?" I didn't answer. When I got back, I found out Brenda had told the family I was unstable and difficult. That she was worried about Matt. She made herself the victim. And here's where things got worse. One of Matt's sister's husbands, Carla's husband, Greg, works with a guy who goes to Brenda's church. That guy let it slip at work that Matt had been staying at Brenda's house off and on for weeks. Even before Christmas. That's when I realized he hadn't just checked out emotionally. He had physically removed himself from our marriage and ran back to Mommy. So I did something quiet. Something I knew would get their attention. I filed for a legal separation, froze our joint account, removed him from my health insurance, and sent him the papers to sign. He didn't come home for 4 days after that. When he finally walked in, he looked shocked. "You're really doing this?" he asked. I said, "I already did." And then I said something that I hadn't let myself say before. "I gave up everything to come here. And you let your mother treat me like trash while you stood there and laughed."
So yeah, Matt.
I'm done. He didn't fight. He just looked small, like a boy who didn't understand what just happened. But I did. I had finally taken back my dignity. After Matt left that night, things got real quiet. I had the house to myself again, and it was weirdly peaceful. But I also felt numb, like I had just walked out of a fire and hadn't realized how burned I was until the cold air hit me. But that numbness didn't last long. A week later, I got a call from my HR rep at work. She said there was a background check request from a company in Dayton, a senior living facility of all places, asking for my employment verification. I hadn't applied for a job. I told her that. She double-checked. The request was for Jennifer M., my full name, my exact current address. It was me. Except, it wasn't me who sent it. I got a bad feeling. Asked her to send me a copy of the form. When it came through, my stomach dropped. The email address listed was Jen, DaytonJobSearch@outlook.com. I had never seen it before, but someone was using my name.
My info.
Looking for jobs. I didn't say anything to Matt, but I called Rachel and she helped me dig into it. She had a friend who worked in IT. Long story short, we traced the IP address tied to the job search account. It came from Brenda's neighborhood. Rachel looked at me and said, "She's trying to get you out of the picture." I didn't want to believe it, but the pattern was there. Humiliate me in public. Undermine me with the family. Push me out of my own marriage. And now pretend to be me, maybe to make it look like I was leaving town or planning something. It was next-level manipulation. I didn't go to the police yet, but I did take steps. I called a lawyer, explained everything. He told me to start documenting everything Brenda did or said from that point forward.
So I did.
I also installed a security camera at my front door.
Just in case.
About a week after that, I got another twist to the knife. I got a message from Stephanie, Matt's sister. We hadn't spoken since I blocked Brenda. Her message said, "Just so you know, Mom's rewriting her will. She's taking Matt off it until he fixes things with the family. I thought you should know what kind of mess you're causing." Like it was my fault he didn't stand up for me. But that message told me something more important. Brenda wasn't just angry. She was trying to punish Matt now, too. And I knew exactly what that meant. Brenda wasn't trying to protect her family values. She was trying to control everyone, no matter how much damage it caused. She was playing chess, not just with me, but with everyone. And she was about to find out I wasn't a pawn anymore. After that message from Stephanie, I didn't reply, but I saved it.
Printed it out.
Added it to the growing folder of documentation. My lawyer said it was smart. Brenda had crossed a line, and I wasn't going to sit back and let her win. I started asking questions. I called a friend of mine from college who worked in nonprofit compliance. I asked what it would take for someone to report unethical financial behavior from someone on a church board. Brenda had bragged for years about how she helped run the books at her church. Turns out, she had been reimbursing herself hundreds, sometimes thousands, of dollars every quarter, under vague reasons like community support and hospitality expenses. I didn't dig it up to ruin her. I did it to protect myself. But I kept digging. Rachel and I made a timeline. Brenda's sudden deposits and withdrawals lined up with events, weddings, family parties, even a trip she took to Nashville for ministry. Some of the expenses were real. Some were not. I turned the report in anonymously. I let the church deal with her. 3 weeks later, the news broke. Brenda was asked to step down pending review. The family was furious. Brenda blamed Matt, and Matt blamed me. He came to the house, not to make peace, but to scream, "You ruined my mom's life." He shouted at the front door. "No," I said calmly. "She did that herself. I just showed people what she was really doing." "She was trying to help me," he yelled. "She gave me money when we needed it." "Then take it," I said. "Go live there. Let her fix your life for you." And I shut the door in his face. That night, Matt sent a long, broken message. He said he'd been staying with a friend, that Brenda turned on him when the will stuff came out, that she told him he'd lost his manhood by letting me walk all over her legacy. He admitted something I never expected. "She told me to sabotage your career," he wrote. "She told me if you were busy or moved away, it would be easier to fix things." I didn't agree to it, but I didn't stop her either. That crushed me more than anything. He knew what she was doing, and he let her. All those months I was confused and anxious, doubting myself, wondering if I was going crazy. It wasn't in my head. They were working against me. I didn't reply. Instead, I finalized the separation into divorce. I kept the house. My lawyer found a loophole that protected my premarital savings, which I had used for the down payment. Matt didn't fight it. He had no fight left. Rachel ended up staying longer than expected. Moved in for a while. We turned the guest room into her home office. We laughed more in 3 months than I had in 5 years of marriage.
Brenda?
She lost her seat at the church. Her reputation tanked. People talked. Donations dropped. Rumors spread. She tried to spin it, but the damage was done. She still sends letters.
I don't open them.
Matt moved to a small apartment in Kettering. I heard through a neighbor he's been going to counseling. Maybe he's waking up. Maybe not. It's not my job to save him anymore. And me? I went back to Denver for a bit. Cleared my head. Then came back and started a new job. Marketing director for a firm that respects me, values my work, and doesn't make me feel small.
I'm rebuilding.
Quietly. On my terms. Do I regret staying quiet all those years? Sometimes. But I also know this. The slow kind of revenge, the kind that unfolds when the truth finally comes out, is the most powerful kind. Brenda built her world on lies and control. And now she's alone in it. Matt chose silence and comfort. And he lost both. And me? I chose myself. And I don't plan on ever giving that up again.